show you some beautiful Spanish guitar chords. Now, these chords are probably easier than they actually look, and I think you'll find that not only do they sound good, but it's not that hard. There are no bar chords in here, and you'll see what I mean. Once we go through the chords, and by the way, even if you come out of this with just a few new chords, that's a win. But then I'll show you the fingerpicking pattern. And this pattern can be used for lots of styles of music. It's a very valuable pattern to learn. Then we'll go through some embellishments, or we'll add a little melody to it. And then, if you're up for it, we'll add that strum that you saw me play. This is the same strum and the techniques that I use on several of my songs, in particular a song called Tango in Paradise off of my Beauty and Fire CD. Check it out if you get a chance. I'll put a link in the description. Now for this lesson, I'm using a nylon string guitar, same as I use on my albums. But I've tried it on a steel string guitar and it sounds pretty cool, a little brighter and the strings ring out a little bit more. So give that a try. That strum seems a little harsh for me on the steel string, but I'd be curious to hear your feedback. We'll start off with 4 chords. Some are slight variations off their folk-style counterparts. I think you'll find them fun and not too difficult. Ready? Let's do this. The first chord is a D minor, and it's a regular folk-style D minor. I use the pinky here. Sometimes people like to use the 3rd finger, but I prefer the pinky. I got my 1st finger on the 1st fret, 1st string, 2nd finger over here on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and the pinky in between, 2nd string, 3rd fret. Bass notes right there on the 4th string, D. Now from there, I'm going to stretch over and make a C add 9 chord. To do that, I'm going to take my 2nd finger and move it over here, and the 3rd finger onto the 5th string. Take off the 1st finger. Beautiful chord, one of my favorites. So the 3rd finger is there on the 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and the pinky stays right where it is on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Bass notes on the 5th string there. The next chord is a B flat. Now normally you might want to make a B flat like this with a bar, but I'm going to show you an easier way, and because we're finger picking, you're not going to need to bar all the strings. So first of all, you're going to cover the bass note with just your finger and you won't have to bar. That's the 5th string, 1st fret. Now, the rest of the notes are covered there with my 2nd, 3rd, and pinky, but I'm going to take off my 2nd finger. I'm letting that high E ring, and that's not a part of a B flat chord, so it's a little more of an exotic sound. And then I'm doing a form of an A chord. I'm doing the 2-finger form. And if you haven't tried this, you might at least want to give it a try. You can put all your fingers down, but I'll show you why I prefer the 2-finger for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 3rd and pinky together to kind of enhance the chord a little bit. Give it a little more of that flamenco Spanish sound. So sometimes I'll just use the pinky. That makes a suspended chord, and I pull it off to add a little movement. But if you make it with the 1st finger across the 4th and 3rd strings, and the 2nd finger right there, that's on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, that gives you a lot of room to move with the other fingers. So before we go on, you're going to want to practice those 4 chords a little bit. And if nothing else, you'll add some chords to your repertoire. So that's the D minor chord with the pinky there on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Then I'm going to stretch over to that C add 9. Then move from here to the B flat. And you can see I just move my 3rd finger over. I don't need to worry about the 2nd finger. And put the 1st finger down on the 5th string, 1st fret. Yes, I'm actually hitting that open E, which makes for a exotic, kind of a little bit of a tension, but it resolves to the A. And again, I'm using the 2-finger A. I highly recommend you try it, because we're going to need these other fingers for later. Okay, so maybe you've got some new chords, if nothing else. And if you only come away with a few new chord forms, that's great. But now I want to show you a finger-picking pattern, the one I used in the beginning, which you can use both for this and for lots of things. Now, we're going to call this step 2. So I'm assuming you've practiced the chords, or at least one of the chords, because you're going to need to use it to practice the finger-picking pattern. Let's start with a D minor chord, and I'll show you the pattern with my right hand. Now this is the straight pattern with no embellishments. First thing to do is to plant your thumb and your 1, 2, and 3 fingers on the strings. So the thumb's on the 4th string, my first finger's on the 3rd, second finger on the 2nd, and third finger on the 1st string. Now, it's common terminology with fingerpicking to just call the pattern out with the string name. So this would be 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm referring to the strings, not my fingers. 4, 3, 2, 1. So the actual pattern is 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. You see, I'm actually hitting the bass note, then going up, and then back down, not all the way to the bass note, to the 3rd string, and then back up. Now, just a couple of tips. When you pluck the string with your thumb, aim for more of a down motion, not out like this. It'll make a funny sound. And with the fingers, pull them into your palm. Try not to yank your hand out. That ends up making it a little bit messy and slows you down. So relax as you do this and practice it until you can do it automatically. So here's the pattern again, nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and plant your fingers and try it with me now. Ready? Bass note. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Good. Again, a little faster. Ready? Go. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Again. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. You want to practice this pattern first with one chord, then when you get comfortable, apply it to all the chords. Start with the D minor because that's the easiest, and then go on to the C and so on. Now, you're going to want to pay attention to the bass notes. On the D minor chord, we've got the 4th string for the bass note. On the C chord, we've got the 5th string for the bass note. Now for the B flat chord, we're going to use the 5th string again. And then for the A chord, we're using the 5th string again. Now, towards the end, you'll notice I threw in one additional chord. You can skip this altogether, or if you want to add it, it's really easy. It's actually called a G minor 9, and that bass note's on the 6th string. It looks like this. Bass note here, and then I'm plucking the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. I'm not hitting that high E string for this one. Now, before we go on to the next step with the strumming pattern, I want you to get at least a little bit of practice in with these 4 chords and the fingerpicking pattern. It'll look something like this, and go as slow as you need to. Let's add some embellishments to the fingerpicking pattern. Now, I'm going to show you first what it looks like, and then we'll go slow and I'll break down each of the parts. Listen for a sec. So the basic pattern is exactly what we just did, only I'm cutting off the fingerpicking pattern in some cases a little bit early to do a little bit of melody work. Let's start with the first one with the D minor. So with the D minor, I'm going up the notes, and when I get to the 1st string, I leave an extra beat there and I pull off with my 1st finger on the left hand to make another note. Then I come back to the 2nd string and the 3rd string. So the pattern is 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I hold on that 1 while I pull off and then go 2, 3, 2. And that's the end. Try it with me now. Plant your fingers first. Start with the 4th string, thumb. 3, 2, 1. Now pull off with the 1st finger of the, and then 2, 3, 2. One more time. Go. Now moving on to that C add 9, listen. And I'm leaving a little space in there. I like that space. It adds a little drama to it. So the first finger on the first fret of the second string is where I'm getting that extra note. It looks like a folk C chord. With the pinky down, it's a C add 9. With the pinky off, it's a regular C. So I'm pulling off with the pinky. If this is really hard, don't worry about it. You can skip any part of this, or even consider doing it your own way, something that sounds good to you. Give this a try with me and see how it goes. Make your C add 9. Put your first finger down ahead of time. Be ready. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Pull off on 2, then back to 3, 4, and let's pause there and let it ring. Now, with the B flat, I'm going to mess with some bass notes. Listen. Those bass notes are open E, third finger, I'm hammering on. So I'm not hitting it twice with the right hand, I'm only hitting it once, and then onto the open A string, 5 string. So form your B flat chord, and again, the one without a bar, and we'll go 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then the bass note, open E, and I'm using my second finger over there to hammer on that third fret, and then open A. It's not as hard as it looks, actually. Try it. I'll count. 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. 6 string, open, thumb, hammer on, second finger, and open A. A little faster. Go. And of course, when I hit that A string, I'm ready for the A chord. Here's how they fit together. So I'm doing another little pull off there on the A chord. What I'm doing is, I was using my pinky, but you can use your third finger just as easily. I'm making the 2-finger A, hitting on the third fret of the second string, and then pulling off, making 2 notes with 1 pluck on my right hand. I'll go back to the pinky. Listen. I'll hit the open A, that's left over from the last chord. Second string, pull off, and then back to third, 4. Let's try that from the open A. Go. One more time. Go. Okay, I'm going to go through it slowly from the beginning, and you can either follow along now, or you can just watch and then come back and try it later. 3 and 4 and... Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, now for step number 3. Totally optional. I'm going to show you that strum that I did. It's a type of flamenco tango strum, not to be confused with Argentine tango. Now, I'll be the first to admit I am not an expert flamenco guitar player. I have taken flamenco lessons for quite a while, but I quickly adapt the techniques to my own style of music, and which is my real passion, is creating and composing music. So the version of this strum that I know is one I've been doing for years and years, and I don't even remember if it's exactly the original I was taught. But it's a good strum, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. It looks like this. For those of you who want to learn this, and I encourage you to give it a try, I'm going to break it down. It's a 4-beat strum. I'll slow it down so you can see the movements first. So the first thing I do is plant my fingers just like I'm going to do the finger picking pattern. But instead of one finger at a time, I'll do the thumb first, then the 3 fingers together. Now my fingers are curled, and I'm going to release my second finger, and then my first finger. Stop there. Try that with me. Plant your fingers, thumb, 3 fingers, second finger down, first finger, and stop there. Now I'm going to add to that. Watch. So once I've moved my first finger down, I have my hand kind of hanging down there, and I'm going to go up with the back of my thumb. I'm using the nail to make it a little crisper. So together it's thumb, 3 fingers, second finger, first finger, hands down. Now up with the thumb. Try that much with me. Ready, go. Thumb, 3 fingers, second finger down, first finger down, thumb up. Now watch the next movement we'll add to this. I'm going to do a mute and strike at the same time. I'm going to strike down, mostly with my first finger, but I'm hitting the second too. And clamping down so I mute the strings. That's what it sounds like faster. You might want to practice that motion with me a couple times. Go, starting up, now. Again. One more time. Now look how it fits in there. Bass, fingers, second finger, first finger, up with the thumb. Now I'm up here and I'm going to mute the strings. Together, ready, go. Bass, finger, second, first finger, thumb up, and mute down. Now the final motion is I'm brushing up with my first finger. So let's put that all together. By the way, the rhythm's not right yet. We're going to get that. Let's just get the motion. Ready, go. Again, ready, go. Now try not to move your hand too far up and down. You want it to stay nice and close so you can move quickly and relaxed. Now, let's get the rhythm right. There's a little pause in there that actually finishes it off. Listen. Pause. Then start over. Pause. Now that pause makes it a full 4 beats. Let's try it together nice and slow, just a couple of times. Ready, go. Bass, fingers, second finger, first finger, pause, up with the thumb, now down and mute, and then strike up. Start over. Pause. And a little faster, it'll sound like this. That's it for now. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, give me a thumbs up. And if you think of some other videos you'd like to see me make, let me know in the comments. I enjoy hearing from my viewers and I read every single comment. If you enjoyed this video, I have another video I think you're gonna love. I'll put a link, check it out. It's coming up as soon as I get done talking here.